What's happening? Welcome back to another video, guys. I wanted to make this intro real quick. Obviously, you guys can see by the title below what this video is going to be about. It's going to be about an hour and about 25 minutes, give or take, depending on this intro. But I wanted to say one apology for not uploading consistently for the last month and a half. That's 100% my fault. I'm gonna make it up for you guys. It's just been a lot of things going on, but the last thing I want to do is give you guys excuses, because that's what I hate doing. And hands down, it's just my fault for not being consistent and prioritizing YouTube and giving you guys the utmost valuable content as much as I should be. So with that being said, just stay tuned for more videos. I'm coming back. Going to be posting videos weekly and posting a lot more of these closed calls as we record them. I always recommend everybody to record their calls. On top of that, just enjoy the call, and hopefully you guys can take something away from it. One big thing to keep in mind is towards the end the video did get cut off, but I'm gonna put an invoice that it got paid to show you guys that we did end up signing the client. It just got cut off within towards the end when they say, okay, cool, let's give it a shot. But that's pretty much it. Just watch the video, enjoy it, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.
6 jobs a day, 7? How many?
Yeah, either 4 to 6 jobs a day. Now with Corona, a lot of people don't want us in their apartments right now, and it's a tricky time for the landlords and the property managers, and it's really just essential services that need to be done. So it kind of really limited our scope
You said about
of what we can do.
Usually 6. It will be 6. And that's including Monday through Saturday. 6
That's
jobs.
that's a day.
that's 6.
So I guess
So
it's 30 a week, let's say, on average, and it's 120 a month, something like that. That's probably on the low.
Where's it at right now with the whole Corona thing?
Much less.
Slowed down. It slowed down. How many we're getting, Emil?
Maybe one a day, one every 2 days. It really slowed down.
Yeah.
so one.
So the biggest thing is, so where are you guys located, by the way? Up in New York or?
6 times.
Yeah, Brooklyn.
24.
Okay, cool. I mean, that hit a lot, especially in New York. We have a lot of clients of New York that had to close down.
But we also too in Jersey and Philly, especially South Jersey and Philly, because I'm here every weekend.
Right.
My girlfriend lives there, yeah, so I'm here every weekend. So we actually just expanded, and we try to make our mark here. So we're based in New York. Everything started in New York, but we're also here as well.
I don't think I asked you guys this. What made you guys partner up and start all this whole business and everything?
Emil,
you wanna
tell the
tell 'em?
story.
Me?
Tell the story.
I was a property manager of I'm still a property manager of 36 buildings in Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx, the Manhattan area. And Kareem came in for a job interview to work for me, and I said, no, you're too good for this. Why don't you start with me in this company that I already had?
Right.
And we weren't really doing so much business, and then Kareem came in, it really ramped up. So we just continued working together, and it's a good partnership.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I was a property manager for 8 years. I was doing construction as well. I started construction for 2 years, then I became a property manager for 8 years, residential and commercial. And then I was not happy at the job position that I was at. So that's when I started looking for another job. That's when I met Emil. I told him, I said, hold on, let me take a month. I took a month till I reached back to him. And then I said to myself, I said, listen, why am I gonna keep working for someone? Why not build my own asset? And he gave me, a percentage of the company, and that's how we became partners. And then we just took it to the next level within a few months. I'm actually shocked how much we did, and that's without us even going full blast. But now with the coronavirus thing, kind of slows down a bit. So yeah.
Right.
That was with no marketing and no anything. We had a few property managers we were working with, a few landlords, and that's really what we were running with. And now since Corona, everything slowed down heavy. So it really got us. It was kind of a blessing in disguise that we realize now. So we got to really ramp up the website, ramp up the social media, ramp up the marketing, and do what we were supposed to be doing from day one.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
now we pretty much finished it all, and we're all right, now we can use some more jobs. But
Absolutely. When did you guys? So you guys started this? I guess a couple months ago. The whole business and everything?
So I started the company about 2 years ago, and
Oh, okay.
we were like doing all right, but maybe in November or October even, I met Kareem, and from then it exploded. We got a bunch of
Awesome.
property managers right away, and they were very eager to start work. So we just took anything they were going to give us.
Perfect. Cool. And then going with kind of like, have you guys tried, I know you said you were doing some stuff with the website and stuff, like, have you guys done anything to bring in, like leads or potential, kind of customers? I mean, like what kind of things were you guys trying before?
We have like Networks is a lead generation app, and Thumbtack is a lead
Thumbtack.
generation app.
Oh,
I was on
I've heard of
HomeAdvisor
Thumbtack.
before.
Thumbtack is big.
Thumbtack is big. Networks is pretty big also in like the New York City metropolitan area.
Right.
And I was on HomeAdvisor before, which is huge, but they're in like a crazy lawsuit now, and I was in a crazy fight with them. They were giving a bunch of like fake leads,
Right.
and they made me pay for it was like $20 to $40 per lead. They were just
Wow.
sending fake leads like
Wow.
6-7 times a
Jeez.
day. And it ended up being like they're in a huge lawsuit now. So I'm not working with them right now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm pretty familiar with Thumbtack. My uncle actually used it for construction and stuff like that. So it's a great source of paying per lead type thing.
It's a great app.
So what you guys are telling me is like you guys can handle more business than what Thumbtack and Network and all this other stuff providing you would say?
Yeah, for sure.
How much more business would you say you can handle?
We could handle pretty much. We have so much of a team. I'm gonna go back on we have such a big team now.
Right.
Believe it or not, we could handle a lot of jobs. We was handling six jobs a day with just one worker. Now we have 4 workers. Now we have a company car. Now we have more experience, so we could handle. I
24
would say
times 6.
maybe minimum.
We have
I
a
think we should
receptionist
minimum
now. We
10.
have an accountant. So we can really handle a lot.
Okay, so would you say maybe like triple, quadruple type numbers?
Sure, yeah.
Let's just
I
say
would say.
every worker.
Yeah, you said you had 4 workers, so I was just doing the math, like something like that.
Okay, the biggest thing we have to realize is obviously with the Corona thing, it's not going to be possible. Like just stating the facts to get to that type of number per day. It's just going to be really hard. So you're doing Alex, it says currently 25 service jobs per month. I think that, I don't know if that's correct. I think it's per week or something like that.
Yeah, so because I think Kareem, you were saying you were getting 1 every day or every other day, and you guys are open 6 days a week, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
it's kind of
say that?
7 days a week.
Okay,
But
so really-
we work
that's not your
24/7.
normal. It's just
We work
because
24/7. To be honest with you.
Right,
if
that's-
someone calls us at 3 in the morning and they have a lockout, we have to go. If someone calls us at 3 in the morning and they have a leak under their sink, we got to go. So it's really
Wow.
24 hours.
Okay, cool.
wow, okay.
So maybe like the ultimate thing we can do is just build out a plan that can maybe bring you guys an extra, instead of 1, maybe 2 a day, something like that. Because obviously with the Corona thing, you got to have magic to be able to bring business back to where it's supposed to be, if not better. So we got to be realistic with our numbers. And Alex, kind of like, I remember you talking about it. So the biggest thing for us right now is I feel like we just got to work on like figuring out exactly what the marketing plan would be and what you guys exactly are looking for. Because with us specifically, we do things like, we don't really do pay per click. We don't do pay for a lead or anything like that for, many of reasons, but it falls under like, maybe there's other avenues that we can go down. We are more like a monthly service type agency, and we like to partner with people who do that. I don't know where you guys are at specifically with that.
That's fine with us. You guys do mostly Facebook ads, right?
Right. We focus mostly on Facebook. I mean, we put stuff on Instagram as well, depending on kind of the business. I feel like this is a business that we can definitely market on Instagram. And overall, marketing right now, it's probably the smartest move is to collect data and really get people to know who you are. Because here's the thing, people, service-based, let's say somebody has a leak sink, they're going to call somebody, even if Corona is around. They ain't going to stop it themselves. It's just not how it is, So it's just a matter of getting in front of people at this time.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough to get in front of, like, we were in front of property managers and brokers and landlords. Really, like, Kareem was going to all these jobs. I think we had a Hertz rental car. How many miles did you put on that? in
Like
4
almost
weeks.
yeah, I think it was almost 3,000.
Okay.
It was about 3,000 miles just on the Hertz rental car we had for 4 weeks.
Right.
He was going to all these different jobs and all these different guys and sitting in front of everybody, showing them the brochure, showing them what we do.
Yeah.
And now it's tough. So now I think Facebook and Instagram is a great way to go about it.
Yeah,
Zoom
we gotta give
meetings.
you guys exposure.
So yeah, so I kind of wanted to figure this out. So yeah, you're pretty much right now with everything going on, you guys are around 25 per month. So where would you like realistically, like where would you guys like to pretty much see this number? Like how many jobs? I know you said you guys were getting more before, but like where would you really like to see that number right now on a monthly basis?
On a monthly basis, we'd like to get, I don't know, 500 jobs on a monthly basis. I don't think that's too high.
Okay.
400, 500 jobs on a monthly basis.
That's like, but that, yeah, that's when everything goes back to normal. Things are flowing again, and you guys are picking up the pace. So Alex, can you do the math specifically for like when you guys were, without the coronavirus 6 hours a day, and kind of do that by maybe. You guys said you guys are off on Sundays, or you guys just 7 days a week?
7 days a
No,
week.
we work Sundays also.
Yeah. So yeah, he said like 112.
Okay, so
So
before
basically an additional
triple, so pretty much triple, quadruple. Okay, so let me ask you guys this: so you guys never tapped any Facebook advertising, Instagram advertising before, correct?
No.
Okay.
We did like 1 or 2 paid advertisements like on Instagram.
How'd that go?
We didn't really see like way too much traction because it wasn't really it was my cousin's page.
Okay.
And it was a fashion account. It wasn't really, she had like 60,000 followers, which I thought was like cool,
Right.
but it wasn't really the right market. So it didn't really hit as much as we thought it may hit.
Right.
Hmm.
That's like,
So
I would
yeah.
say with the 60,000, it's like, 60,000 people trying to buy clothes, and you're trying to market to cleaning services. So it's a bit hard to really put that into,
Yeah, it's not really the same market.
Overall, right off the bat, kind of the biggest thing, like I think Lorenzo spoke to Alex and I, it's just about lookalike audience. Because for your business, you guys collect your clients' information in like emails and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Because that's something we can use specifically to target the right, like the same demographics. Let's say you guys have a list of people that you guys do like commercial and all that stuff, and those people have connections. We can use their emails to build lookalike to people that they connect with and stuff like that, and get those type of people into the pipeline.
The way we were doing it before is not really like per person.
Mhm.
So we weren't really collecting as many emails as maybe we could have because it wasn't like the residents that we were collecting from.
Right.
Mostly the property managers or the landlords were just feeding us jobs, and like we would really speak to them.
Right.
We'd go to the resident's house and then do something like that, but we wouldn't really be marketing right to them, so we didn't really collect their emails.
Okay. Would you say 80% of your business came from like other apps like Thumbtack and all that stuff? Would you say that, or how would you kind of like percentage?
No, it's probably 80-20 the other way. 80% property managers and landlords, and 20% Thumbtack and networks.
Yeah, that's where you want to focus.
So,
Yeah, it was just people that we knew, that's how we got our jobs, that people that we knew with the property management, but we never really touched social media or anything like that. We didn't do nothing like that.
Well, right off the bat, it's good that you guys are looking into it right now. I mean, this everybody's on social media right now. Everybody's on Facebook, Instagram.
Absolutely.
If everything goes and we move forward, we would probably have to have like multiple strategy calls to really build out a big plan specifically for landlords, property managers, commercial buildings, rental or residential, and really dial down on like what ads and all that stuff to use and what targeting. But right off the bat, Alex can show you semi of like how our ad system works. It's we try to make it as simple as possible for you guys to understand, but there's a lot that goes into it. I don't know, Alex, do you have any more questions you want to ask?
Yeah, I wanted to let Lorenzo ask a couple of questions first. I kind of posted up your questions, and then we're gonna actually show you some examples of what we saw that's being actively used on Facebook, and then we'll pretty much get into how we things our system and everything like that. But yeah, Lorenzo, I don't know if you had a couple questions.
Yeah, thanks. Hi, guys. So, yeah, just want to some few quick questions just to know. So basically, if you already have like your own database, right? So you have like phone number, email, like there is a kind of we can do on Facebook and Instagram. We can basically upload your information of your clients, and we can reach out to these people on Facebook and Instagram with your list. So I just want to understand, like, are you looking to get like tenants that they are looking for rent, or are you looking to target landlords as well, or like landlords looking for investment?
Mostly landlords and property managers, I guess. Just because we see like if we connect with one landlord or property manager, we can get 100 jobs as opposed to
Okay.
if we go to one person, we can get 1 or max 5 jobs.
Okay.
So it looks like just a better like investment, like a return on investment type of thing.
Yeah, great. And so Emil, do you already have like a database with landlord information or not yet?
We don't know. We're just working with people that we knew.
Okay. So
Hey, sorry to cut you off. Would you say you have database of like people that you know? Do you have their information, like emails, like people who like gives you the job? Because you said you have like a network of landlords already. Like, do you have their information and stuff like that?
Yeah, we have stuff like that.
Okay, great. So yeah, we could use the information you already have, guys, just to to reach out to more people. We can even send like do a campaign both on Facebook or on the software we use. We can even send mass text messages or emails, just to promote new marketing campaigns. And at the same time, like for landlords or investors, um, I worked with a client in the past, like she was from Los Angeles and she was looking to get like um, investors for houses renovation. Do you do that as well?
Yeah.
Oh, great. So yeah, basically right now, in United States, like for real estate, they Facebook and Instagram, they just update their policy, and now right now all the advertisements about real estate or investment properties, we have to run them as an housing opportunity. So that's kind of it's a good thing for you guys, because if we have this kind of opportunities for investment, it's a good like opportunity for you to find investors or landlords looking, just to increase their portfolio, right? For the investment portfolio for real estate. And yeah, I think like you say that you have many, like you're not working only in one city. Like in how many cities are you working with your partners?
3 altogether.
For the most part, it's the New York City like area, the 5 boroughs. We also do
Okay.
South Jersey and Philly, but those are like the emerging markets for us. We're not really. We mostly do general New York City 5 boroughs.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of what we'll actively target the most.
So just trying to just like clear everything up specifically, like your ultimate goal today is to find a way to get more jobs specifically for cleaning, either that's targeting residential or other avenues.
Commercial. So the cleaning is commercial and residential.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry?
No, I was just saying, yeah, both residential and commercial, correct.
Yes.
So the residential is cool. Like those, like if we market to property managers and we do like cleaning on a residential basis, it's kind of cool because like it's turnovers, move in, move out type of thing. It's if somebody wants just like a cleaning, like a one time or a recurring cleaning in their apartment, that's cool, and that's how we would market to them. But the real money that we've seen is the commercial cleanings. So like it's whole buildings on a recurring basis. We go every other day and like kind of that kind of stuff. So, I mean, we would really do both residential and commercial.
Right.
We also like really, really focus on like handyman work, everything inside an apartment, anything inside a house. So it's really both avenues.
All right, so hold on. I need to cut Emil off. So basically, in a nutshell, what we do is, I know Emil is like telling you very detailed, but I'm just gonna be flat out. Pretty much what we do is that we do everything. Our main focus is maintenance and cleaning. When I mean maintenance, construction, meaning plumbing, electric, flooring, roofing, kind of windows, yeah. Just basically maintenance, construction, but also cleaning as well. Cleaning, what do I mean by cleaning? I don't mean like little accounts. I don't mean like, okay, we're gonna have you just to clean for one apartment and we'll pay you $80. No, when we talk about cleaning, it's more of accounts. Like, for example, the commercial account that we just got, something similar in those aspects, those numbers. The lowest would go with a commercial account is like $5,000 a month. These are, these are big accounts. So those are the type of work that we do, all in a nutshell. And we do South Jersey and Philly, but our main focus is New York. But if there's an opportunity in Philly, South Jersey, then great. But if I were to tell you, like, okay, what is the main focus will be New York, So we just try to take every advantage, every opportunity,
Right.
everything that we can. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That simplified up pretty well. What are some requirements that you guys have specifically besides the $5,000 minimum a month? It's like, oh, I have to clean this many places, or how does that kind of work?
Well, as far as handyman, right? Let's just give an example. We're gonna make up numbers now. So let's say handyman or maintenance. Someone says, okay, we'll pay you $200 to change our locks or whatever. We're not gonna do it. I mean, that's just a waste of our time. We have to pay our worker this amount. It's not gonna do it. But let's say someone, I would say minimum for like a regular handyman job, minimum will probably be, I would say 600. So what do you think, Emil?
I think if a property manager in the past, if a property manager told us to do anything, hey, change these locks for $200, we did it. It's not a lot of it's not great margins, but we'll do it to keep the relationship strong and to keep the property manager happy. It's not what we love to do, but we'll do it.
Right.
And we'll make some money on it.
Yeah, it's not what you're going after, but it's just to keep that relationship.
Yeah, it's not our main focus.
Relationship, which is super, super important, right? So the bread and butter is like the more more account jobs, like more than just one lot or stuff like that, more than just one building to clean, or apartment. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so it gives us a good margin, but obviously right off the bat, the biggest thing is disqualifying people that we bring you is super important as well. Because not everybody, like, let's just say we bring you guys, 40 people this upcoming month, we would have to make sure they qualify to really, do what you guys got to do. Or you can be like, you know what, I want to build a relationship with this dude. I talked to him, he's a great dude, and you do it. But there's really no way of being in contact with them to really, like, sit there and be like, okay, cool, they qualify. I mean, they can go through questions that you guys can come up with. But at the end of the day, I think mostly the most important thing, hands down, it's just more people on social media need to know you guys are in service and what you guys do and who you guys are, right? That hands down. Because one word from Susan, who saw the Facebook ads, to her dad that owns all these properties is all you guys need, but it can go through Susan. What I mean? Just publicity. You guys just need more people because there's a lot of people doing what you guys do, especially in New York. Obviously, I'm not going to sit here and say who's the best because it's just who wants to hustle more. And you guys are two dudes that hands down hustle. I can tell.
Thank you.
So
we don't.
I mean, I don't know anyone else who would drive 3,000 miles between New York and
I wouldn't do
Jersey.
it myself personally, but
I'm crazy.
Hey man, that's why
you have to be crazy, man.
That's why you guys are partnered. One crazy, one normal. Okay, that's it. That evens out.
He calls me one day. He's like, "Bro, I'm in Delaware." I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing in Delaware?" He's like, "Bro, Leeds." I'm like, "All right, like, do your thing, man." Like, so.
But the beauty of this is that while he's going after people that you've already started this relationship, we're filling in that pipeline. So for pretty cheap for every person that sees it, another 10 people a minute, whatever, are gonna know who you are pretty much. So it
Cool.
pretty much works hand in hand, and then building up that pipeline, especially right now when things are slower and everything.
So right now on your Facebook, you have Instagram as well, guys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn.
Perfect. LinkedIn is an amazing platform to use, especially for the target you guys are going after. But on Facebook, you guys have content, you guys are posting, you guys have an ads manager, all that stuff, or you guys did you guys just recently cooked it up?
Yeah, I mean,
Recently.
recently. I mean, we're doing our best, but to me, honestly, I don't like it. I don't think none of our social media is where it should be at. That's me being brutally honest.
Right.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, if you guys put out like Facebook ads and say, "Hey, visit their Instagram page or visit their Facebook page," I don't think anyone's going to be super impressed.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that it will never be up to par. I think it only takes like another couple weeks when we get a few more posts and a few more friends that it could get to where it should be. But yeah, it was kind of recent that we put the stuff all together.
Right off the bat, hands down, Facebook's probably the best platform we're going to use to kind of put you guys out there. And it's brand awareness is something that we're going to 100% work on when it comes to this. And for instance, when you guys say post, what type of posting are you guys doing? Just like work posts before and after, or just like logos? What exactly?
We do a lot of before and after. I mean, we put the logo on when we got the logo, but we do a lot of before and afters. A lot of like articles on like the real estate market and on like construction market.
Right.
If we ever like get a new hire, we put the new hire on.
Okay.
But there's not much on there right now. What we want to focus is mostly the before and after pictures.
Correct.
Some like video walkthroughs of how we do things.
Okay.
Some articles based on like what we do, and yeah, just like all those like kind of what Kareem puts on his Facebook or Instagram like every day, which is like, hey, stay grinding, guys, like all that type of inspirational type of stuff.
Yeah, that's it. As long as you get business when you start relating to people, and that's it. And people will come to you just because you guys are two hustlers. Like, trust me, like people will hire you because like, damn, I can relate to you when I was like, doing what you guys were doing. But okay,
The reason I started this in the first place is because I was a property manager. I saw like that we use like guys that are like very experienced, which means like they're very expensive. I was going after like the small guys like me and Kareem are, and we were kind of just like in the past when I started this, we were just kind of going after those guys that are just starting out, the cheaper guys, the guys that when you call them, they will answer, not like a 30-minute hold type of thing on a phone call.
Right.
Emails come right back type of guys. And that's who we are. We have 4 guys now that whenever you call the company phone, it goes to all 4 phones. Mm-hmm. Someone will pick it up. If no one does, someone will send you a text or a call in a minute. If someone sends us an email, we email back in a minute. Those kind of guys. So I believe that we could go to like the next level really easily with the crew that we have, right, and the guys that we have. We just have to get there. We just have to brand awareness and market ourselves more, which is, I guess, where you guys come in.
That's good. That's why we're on the phone. So that's a big jump. Obviously, like I said earlier, it can be like a negative and a positive, to market right now. But like I said, it doesn't really keep somebody away because obviously most people are like, you know what, I don't want you in my house. What if certain stuff like that. But I kind of would probably put in like specific ads, like we understand like this whole thing's going around, like we're 100% like disinfected, all the jazz, kind of like put kind of safety into people's mind and make sure like you guys aren't going in just like, no gloves or nothing, because that's too important if somebody's going to hire you to do certain things. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, so Alex, can you go back to like the second page? I can kind of take a look at that. So you guys target a good amount of demographic, I would say. So it would not just be like one ad, here and there and just target whatever. But there'd probably be cooking up anywhere from 15 to 25 different ads targeting all different, either landlords, property manager, commercial, residential. So it's a bit of work that we would have to put into it. And on top of that, I think with the content that you told me, it's pretty good. We've worked with clients who don't we have to cook up a Facebook ad manager for them, here and there. But are you guys familiar with like Facebook Ads Manager? Do you guys have that set up or?
I don't think we do yet. No.
Okay, cool. I think when we have access to it, we'll be able to like kind of.
Yeah, we'll be able to walk, through all that stuff and show you.
Yeah, we're pretty quick learners. So like,
Yeah.
if you walk us through one time, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you guys don't mind me, how old are you guys?
Say that again.
How old are you guys?
I'm 28. Unfortunately, I think probably the oldest one here.
How
I'm
much?
25.
25, 20 and 25. You guys, yeah, we're all young people in here.
How old are you guys?
Alex, how old are you, man?
Lost count. Nah, 24.
So 24. Lorenzo, how are you? How old are you?
25.
25. Okay, so I think I'm like the youngest one here. I'm about 14. No, I just turned 20 about, I would say 5 years ago. So,
All right, cool. Happy
Don't
birthday.
worry. So I am the oldest one here. All right. I feel old as shit. Thank you, guys. Thank you for making me feel old. Appreciate it.
all good.
No worries.
I mean, older you get, the wiser you get. So you can drop some knowledge on us, I guess.
We'll make sure in our targeting that we target 50-year-olds so that you feel young when you have all these meetings.
It's still young, man. You're good. 28. I mean, you still got 2 years until you hit 30. But when 30,
And you're fucked. Then it's all downhill from there.
Yeah, it's all downhill. Yeah.
okay. So I think the best thing we would have to do kind of to move from here is figure out exactly what your budget is to specifically understand if this is possible to kind of do with our calculation of like, okay, how much is it going to cost?
Yeah. So before we get into, I guess, we'll go over that. And then also, after that, I'll kind of show the system and everything and we'll answer kind of any questions with that too.
What's the typical budget that you guys typically work with? Like commission basis, like a percentage basis, or a monthly basis?
So we usually do services on a monthly basis, and I'll kind of explain the reason why behind it. I think, and I'll give you guys a background story. I think we worked with a roofer one time, and it was like a commission-based thing. And the one thing I really disliked was that we didn't have control if the job was going to get either finished correctly, there's no complaints, or anything wrong with the closing process, right? So we would deliver this guy about 35 people, and I even follow up with them genuinely. And most people would be like, yeah, I didn't call, or they didn't call, or, I called them, stuff like that. So it kind of turned us away from like, okay, cool. Like, why are we trusting people? Let's just make something that's reasonable for both sides. Obviously to make sure like both are not putting out the biggest risk, but also benefiting from kind of whatever happens. So that's kind of why we focus on just retainer. And then that's kind of what we've been doing for a while now. So I would just say, a percentage isn't something that we're ideally looking for.
Well, here's my thing, though. Here's my thing, because I could, which is rightly, rightly so. But I could also make a case as well, saying how you gonna, can you promise us leads? Can you promise us jobs? Me, I've always been a fan of percentages because I always been a fan of that because we are very on top of our it's not our fault about the whole virus thing that's going on right now, but we are on top of our game. I don't sleep. Emil barely sleeps, so we are very. What makes it different from everyone else is that when somebody calls us, we pick up right away. We have about 4 people. Right. So if I don't pick up, Emil picks up. If Emil doesn't pick up, Chris doesn't pick up. If Chris doesn't pick up, we just hire somebody new. Dom, she won't, she will pick up. So the fact that what makes us different from what makes us we get the fact of people lack on that, and we wouldn't do that, Mm-hmm. So I think percentage would be fair,
Also, what's good about us too is like we really care about these jobs, because one job can turn into like 5 really easily if you build like a good relationship. We know if like you fuck over one person with one job, right, they can just straight up not pay you or tell all their friends that they hate you and never invite them back. It's happened before, but not like in the recent past. Like when I was doing it myself, right, it's happened because I wasn't like following up all the time. But now like 15 to 30 minutes before we get to the job, we call them. When we get to the job, we call them. In the middle of the job, we call them. At the end of the job, we call them. After the job, we call them. we're always in contact with these people. So like, it's not like we're gonna miss out on a lead that you guys give us. It's
Yeah.
we're pretty on our shit with this stuff.
Which is
So
Yeah, because another part of that is we're very, so what we used to do was just bring leads to the clients that we work with, and kind of what caused a lot of shift and kind of the way that we did things was, we found that a lot of clients were not on top of things, they weren't able to follow up, and we kind of put those conversion systems in place. But we still have, we actually had a recent client that we're about to work with, and so like it was pretty much, he was on his game, like he's able to answer every single phone call, he's able to convert and upsell and everything. So it's really good to hear that you guys are, you guys have a system in place that you can, we give you leads, because I mean we could give all the leads in the world, but if there's no one there to answer or follow up, then it's no good. So it's good to hear from you guys that you guys are pretty much on top of it. You guys have a system and everything that in place. Makes it easy.
Thank you.
So if you guys don't mind asking, how long is the process from getting in contact with the client to getting the job done and you guys get paid for it? Like, what's the process?
could be same day, could be next day. Like usually a job comes in. If it's an emergency job, let's say, then we would get the lead. We'd call the contractor, tell him to go right away. He'll say, okay, I can go right now, or I can go in an hour or two.
Right.
They get to the job, and they either get to the job, assess it, give an estimate. We have to give the estimate to the property manager, the landlord, or the homeowner. And then we would get the materials for the job, start the job right away, and finish the job and try to get paid that day. For property managers and landlords, usually like it's on an account basis. They pay us every 2 weeks or every month. But for homeowners, it's like we get paid on the spot.
So maybe that's going to be like the thing where we got to figure out specifically, because obviously not everything is like, here, you do the job, you get paid. It's like you said, depending on like what demographic it is, you might get paid monthly. And it just comes down to like nothing with like, oh, we don't trust you or like your system doesn't work. It just comes down to like, we know what we can do. And then on top of that, you guys are confident with what you guys do, to the point where you're like, if you guys give us 30, 40 opportunities, there's no reason why we wouldn't be able to close a certain percentage. What would you say your percentage of closes? Maybe like 10 people who are interested. What would you guys say your close rate would be?
So like property managers, it's like we go and it's 10 out of 10, Okay. But with like networks or Thumbtack, it's
a hit or miss.
It's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes they give us like a fake lead, like a fake number. Okay. Sometimes they give us like a guy that the job was already completed. Right. And sometimes they shoot it out to 10 guys, and I mean, we call them in 5 minutes and 3 people already called them before the 5 minutes. Okay. And they say like, oh no, we got somebody ready. So out of 10 people, we would get like 3 or 4, which is like a pretty solid percentage actually. Yeah.
That's actually pretty good, because those deals obviously turn out to a whole different type of revenue base. So one good thing is just like we're not really going to be doing this for people. Like for instance, if we work with you guys, that's you guys for Philly, Jersey, and you know what I mean? So there's no like Steve got the job already, cream in it. Like that's not going to happen, especially with the whole Facebook thing. So I think the best thing for us is just to figure out the result that we can go ahead and deliver. And then on top of that, work something out where it's fair for both sides. Because I'm going to be honest with you, as much as like, let's do like, a percentage, it just comes down to like, how are we going to track that specifically where both it's fair and, where we're both doing our pretty much tasks at hand with everything. Does that kind of make sense? Because the tracking and all that stuff is a whole other ballpark. And literally, like we did the last guy we did it with, he literally went and just started texting us like, hey, this guy didn't answer. This guy didn't answer. Oh yeah, this guy answered. And like, I just don't know where that leads. You know what I mean? So it was and we did it for, it's like a family friend. Like Alex knew a friend, and he was just a referral for a roofer. And they said the same thing. Everybody get on the phone call and we'd be like, yeah, we're going to follow up. We're going to follow up. And then I tell myself, like, there's no reason for them not to. Every opportunity is money. So while they
especially for them. I mean, what's even more for you guys, but yeah, for him, every deal was about $12,000. And
Yeah, roofing's huge. We do roofing also. Happens to be.
yeah, so yeah, the profit margins are pretty good.
So the big thing is just like if we can work out, and obviously this is something we can discuss. It's just maybe like there can be a retainer because obviously we don't just do this ourselves. We do have a team that does and help us maintain and build profitable ads that actually help businesses. So if we can work out maybe a retainer on top of that, a percentage that is both fair for you and the whole business and us as well. I mean, I can go down that route. And see.
I guess how many leads? I mean, how many ads would you post? You think, like, let's say on an average basis for a company like ours, how many ads would you post per month, and what is the typical retainer you would think?
I can kind of answer the first part of that question, man. So in terms of the actual ads, I'll kind of show you with the process and everything, but the first month is strictly pretty much testing. That's not to say you won't get leads. It's all lead based, the type of that we're running. But basically we're testing all of the targeting, the content, the ad copies. So that can I would say that runs anywhere from 20 to 60 ads.
Yeah.
Oh, you cut off for a minute.
Yeah, you cut off.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Alex, yeah.
Oh.
So just going back to what you were saying,
I think my connection's bad.
Yeah, your connection was bad, but briefly explain it. It's just you guys are targeting such a lot of different demographics. You guys do everything. Like most people we've talked to in the past, for instance, that roofer, he's just like, yeah, we don't do commercial, we just do residential, right? And that's a whole different source of how many leads you can get and how much money you're going to spend. But overall, it just comes down to one, the demographic you're reaching out to, and kind of where your ad spend is specifically and where you're spending it. When it comes to testing, we'll test anywhere from 15 to 25 different ads within the first month to really dial down to maybe around 5 ads, right? 7 at most, typically you guys reaching out to X amount of people and put all the money into the working ad. But it's about 15 to 25 ads within the first month testing.
That's pretty cool.
Every day. And we just find whichever cost per lead is the lowest, we go ahead and put a lot of money into that. And we like to recycle ads every once or about a month and a half, 2 months, where we redo the content, redo the wording and stuff like that, and make it as current as possible. And
obviously now the messaging is very different than it would normally be.
So for instance, back to the roofing client that we had, we did like a 15% commission with him, but proposed to him a $1,500 a month retainer for the roofing jobs. And we kind of broke it down. He wanted to do like a 10% commission or whatever. And we're like, if we're going to do it, I think 15% is fair. But that's kind of the average, anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 a month, depending on how big the business is and how much work we would have to do. So if you guys come to us and it's like, hey, like we're trying to reach out to all these people, we got $2,000 in ad spend. Obviously, that's not going to take a $500 amount of work to do. Does that kind of make sense? Our ultimate goal is just to be like, if we bring you in this specific job, we didn't ask you this earlier, but I have a kind of a glimpse of like where the profit margin is. So let's just say you're able to close a $25,000 deal. How much of that would you say is profit?
5 to 10.
5 to 10,000.
Yeah, typically.
Okay, so that's after like material and paying.
The thing is, though, that's like a great job. Typically, we don't get like $20,000 to $25,000 jobs.
It will be an average, yeah.
Typically, we get like $500 to $5,000 jobs. A lot of times more, sometimes a little less.
Right.
But that's the typical average that we see. And let's say it's like an $1,000 job, just to keep the numbers simple.
Yeah.
We usually pay like $400 or something for labor, another $100 or $200 for materials, and the rest is profit.
So you guys.
Here's the thing, though, is the volume that we get. Right. So like, let's say we get $1,400 jobs, we'll get like probably 10 of them in a day. Is the volume that makes up for everything.
Correct. Gotcha.
Yeah, so we'd see like 30% margins, I guess.
Okay, so let's just draw a picture specifically. We're talking about numbers. Let's just say if you guys were to be like, cool, we'll spend $1,000 on ad spend, and let's just say it brings you 40 potential client who are obviously the only reason why they would fill out something is if they are in need of it. And Alex, can you bring up the calculator real quick? I don't have.
Yeah. So yeah, we were actually gonna probably go over this at the end, but
So like 40 potential clients that you guys have in the pipeline, phone number, email, everything. And like, let's just say you close half of it, right? Let's just say half of those people actually turn into customers, which is about 20.
Mhm.
Where you see that ROI on average would be? Like, let's just say, let me get my phone so I can get out the calculator.
I have it right here. So
Let's see.
If we get 40 clients, let's say it's about
20 people.
1,000 each
You
a
guys,
job.
yeah. And I would just say, let's just say the close percentage is like 50%. Would you guys, 50% is like a good margin specifically? Would you guys say like out of 40 people who are qualified or interested, you guys would close about 20? And obviously the one thing you guys close 100% of, but just generic.
I mean, yeah, I would say like we're pretty nice guys on the phone, like pretty nice guys emailing. We're pretty good salesmen, I would say.
Cool.
So we would close as much of the jobs as we could possibly close.
Mhm.
Even if a guy says no 3 times, I'll call him back and say, "Hey, you sure?"
Right.
You know, so it's really all about follow up. Let's say we do close 20 of those guys though,
Yeah.
and let's say it's $1,000 a piece.
Yeah.
That's $20,000, and then let's say it's 30%. I mean, let's say it's 30% margins, so it's $6,000 from those 40 leads.
Right. So would you say maybe like a $2,000 investment for $6,000 back in like return on investment is a good investment?
Say it's 30% of 30%, so it's 15% profit at the end of the day. It's not amazing for what we're doing. Typically, like with networks and Thumbtack, we're working with like a $300 to $500 a month type of budget.
Right.
But I get this is like direct, kind of directed. I mean, networks and Thumbtack is also very much directed. They wouldn't be calling these people if they didn't and fill out that form if they didn't think that they were willing to do it. Correct. I would say that like a typical budget for us is maybe like $500, maybe to $1,000 a month.
Right.
And yeah, 40 guys would be like fantastic, but
yeah. So the one thing is like if you guys get 40 from Thumbtack, you know, George across the street can get that as well because they're not really personalizing that specific lead to you like Facebook is. Like when we say 40, like you're gonna get 40 people who are interested. Email, phone number. I mean, you can go the whole 9 yards to get in front of them if you wanted to. But we're just kind of doing worst case scenario. Like you guys only close half, and let's just say only $1,000 jobs. I'm just trying to make it as like low as possible, to kind of figure out where we would.
Wait, man, is this correct? So $1,000 and then 40 leads, 50%.
Yeah, it's like pretty much yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, there's profit and stuff like that has to go into there. Okay, so right off the bat, kind of like the relationship we can build is we can't like honestly, you guys are genuine dudes. You guys are down to earth. It's like so, and I feel like we connect pretty well. So I feel like maybe we can do like half where we can really work with you guys specifically. Like, okay, cool, we can work out a retainer thing. We can make sure we keep our business running, and then at the same time we can do a percentage thing to also not put you guys in the full risk of like, what if they don't deliver, we're going to lose type thing. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. How do you guys work off of? Do you guys work on like a pay-per-click type of thing or?
No.
Yeah, so we actually have pretty much a retainer. So that retainer completely depends on pretty much, the type of client and, how much work we have to do, as well as pretty much the results that we can give them and also their goals of how many leads we can confidently say that we can bring them. It's pretty much, so it can be anywhere from, I would say 800 to, 6,000. So it really just, it's like you guys, it really just depends on the type of work and everything. So.
But right off the bat with like, let's just say you guys spend $1,000 on ads, getting 40 leads. It's like, somebody do the math on like how much cost per lead that would be, because I was about $25, which is like ultimately a horrible job. If we do that, like you guys might as well fire. But actually, you guys are still profitable because if you guys get 40 leads at $1,000, you're still going to be able to make.
Yeah, money. even if they close one,
so
it'd be breaking even, and if you close two, then it'd be.
So number wise, I don't think it's a big issue specifically. It's just what are you guys willing to kind of put out and be like, okay, cool, like we're confident that this is what's gonna bring it. Why? Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, I guess it's really just we've never done the Facebook ad stuff before. I know you guys have, and that's like your business.
Right.
But I feel like until we really see like how many people come, it's kind of tough to judge how much we should spend on the budget. You know,
So let's just say you guys spend 1,000, you get 40 customer opportunities, and you close 20. Is that still reasonable though? Like, is that still in the ballpark of like, okay, cool, like it's okay that we continue putting money into it?
Yeah.
then it would be
well,
like $50 a job
Yeah, so about 20.
if we close half, let's say.
Yeah.
I guess it would still be fine. But that is like more expensive than like a Networks or a Thumbtack by a lot.
Right.
But you guys are obviously like a more directed approach.
Right.
And
Would you rather have it consistent though? That's the thing. Consistent 40, continuing every month, like because like I said, 40 is just at the lowest at the low. Like let's just say we bombed it, like literally bombed it. That's where the numbers were. I like to just kind of break it down where we're gonna bomb it, and that's kind of like the ballpark we're at. And as long as you guys like we still can run business and still profitable, then that's when it gives me kind of the go of like, okay, cool, we're not really doing any type of negative to your business. But if anything, build you guys more network. Out of 20 people, we're not even counting who you know. So that's kind of a picture that I'm trying to draw.
I'd say we should start at like $800 to $1,000
Right.
for like a budget, and kind of see how it goes. Usually we do like to work on the percentage basis, but like if you guys want to work on a retainer, like it makes more sense for you guys,
Right.
that's fine too. But if you were to work on a percentage basis, what do you think those numbers would be?
Honestly, from experience, like I told you, the other guy we did was 15%. We don't really have. You guys are doing multiple. You guys do from the other foot to the next. It's a whole different 9 yard of services. So I really can't put a specific number on it because it's just way too many different types. You guys do everything. Like Kareem said, you guys are done for. You guys do everything type thing.
I mean, we could make it more direct for you guys, and we can break it down into only a certain number of things that we want you guys to advertise to start and market us for. Like we can say, like, for example, boiler work, plumbing, and electrical.
Okay.
Let's just do it like a month of straight that.
Electric. And so you say boiling, electric, and plumbing?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of not the season for boiler work, but I was just saying for like an example, boiler work, plumbing, and electrical.
Hold on, but there's still. I'm sorry to cut everyone off, but Emil, cleaning as well. Yeah. That's really, really the market. Really right now.
I'm just saying, like, if we wanted to break it down into less stuff, so it's.
I know, but I rather look, guys. I understand where you're coming from, but the fact is that they're stating that we have all these things to work with, all these things to play with. Correct, guys?
Correct.
Yeah, correct.
So that means that there's more opportunities, correct?
Yes.
Okay, but the question is that Emil's trying to get at is that, with that being said, would that cost more or no?
So what I'm kind of thinking, and maybe this is just a different perspective.
Yeah.
So the whole current situation, a lot of people need cleaning jobs right now. It's a huge demand. It's just a matter of tapping into that market, being in front of people, and pretty much presenting yourself as sanitary, clean, and pretty much there for them, to help them.
And we do have the products that's killing the virus, that kills the virus, the coronavirus. And distributors and wholesalers are not selling it to anyone. I have a relationship with them. That's the reason why they're willing to sell it to us.
I see.
Yeah.
I think on top of that too, like when you go to do these cleaning jobs as well, whether that be commercial or residential, that will open doors for you guys to have a relationship. So if anything, so you can be, when you talk to these people, these residents, these landlords, whatever it might be, you can pretty much tell them that you not only clean, but you do these other things. Because I feel like everyone needs cleaning, but not everyone needs, a pipe fixed or something, kind of, I feel like a shot in the dark. But for cleaning, everyone is looking for cleaning services right now.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would be a good route, but I don't know what you guys think. Min, I don't know if you have for.
No, whatever you guys, obviously to me, like cleaning, if you got the disinfectant, you are the plug all around the block. So like
Exactly. Cleaning is going to be really effective. I feel like that's going to be big accounts as well. Depending if it's commercial, how many buildings, how many offices. Hopefully we could beat them to the punch, because I'm sure that they're getting a lot of leads. Yeah, a lot of people, you know, and we got to show why we're different. And that's one of the reasons why we're different. We have workers that over 10 years and plus, the materials that we have and things like that.
So hands down, the way that you guys are going to be ahead of the curve is actually marketing at this time. Because 9 out of 10 people aren't going to market at this time. And that's just being honestly truthful, because they're scared. Right? And obviously you guys are in a business that is just like, okay, cool, this business can market because you guys want to actually help and actually solve the problem. Now, the biggest thing is just like, we don't want to get it to the point where we just niche down so much where you guys only bring one specific demographic in. Maybe we can try 3 different things, but cleaning might be the main kind of thing. But obviously, Kareem, to answer your question, it is going to cost more if you want to target even more type of jobs. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because it'll just be more ads basically.
It'll just be more ads. And that's where the big budget would have to come down to. Like, what can we fit into your budget specifically, where it's going to make sense for you guys? Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. What's the number like that you guys typically do like per ad? You know, like there's a monthly spending, and then let's say there's a monthly like ad limit that you guys do based on the budget. So like, what is the typical amount for you guys? You guys were saying like $25 or $50 per like ad.
Oh wait. So how much do we charge per? You'd say?
Yeah.
Oh, like to break it down.
Yeah.
So usually how it works is like either we kind of match it, or depending on like, let's just say if you spend ad spend, now we're not going to sit there and charge you guys $2,000. It matters $2,000 in ad spend. I would just say it would probably cost anywhere from $1,200 to like $1,500, depending on how many ads. Now, if you're spending $2,000 in ads and you only need to, target one specific demographic, that's a whole different picture. Does that make sense? But if you're like $2,000 trying to target 17 different demographics, then that's a whole different picture. So it just kind of go back to like, what are your needs?
Yeah, different creatives and all that. Pictures.
So I would say the best thing to do for us at this point is to try to break it down for you guys and try to get, like, I know Kareem says like, oh, let's do all these different ads. Let's do all these different demographics and see all these different things. And I guess, yeah, there would be many more opportunities. But for us to see what our best demographics would be,
right,
I feel like is to directly market to those demographics, like to specific demographics, maybe like different ones each month to see like what our like best suit would be. Like testing, yeah. Yeah,
so like I said, so I'll show you pretty much the process, but the first month we're literally testing all the demographics, all of the targeting. Does this per picture work better than this video? Stuff like that. We're going to be testing and everything. But I wanted to actually quickly show you guys. So these are some ones that we actually saw. I know it's kind of small on the screen, but let me see if I can. I think I can zoom in a little bit. Yeah, there we go. So this is kind of just to show you guys that these property managers are on Facebook. They're active. They're actually running all these ads. Let me see if I can zoom out.
1 second. Yeah, let me see. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you can read it. But yeah, so these are pretty much property managers and property management companies, very active on Facebook, running ads and everything. So they're definitely using, Facebook. And like I said, with the first month, we're actually able to target people that are specifically landlords and property managers. So also with cleaning services. So like kind of Min's mentioned, there's a lot of people not taking advantage of this, but there's also a lot of cleaning services that are taking advantage of this. So this was one that we saw. I mean, Lorenzo, how many ads do you think they were running? Like they were probably running.
Oh, here, I can send you the link. I think, yeah. I feel like at least 500, at least, yeah.
Jesus.
But the thing is, like, their demographic is different. Their ad literally says $19 for a clean home. We're not trying to target those specific niches or
Right.
demographics. My apologies. We're trying
But
to
they
target.
do know the power of Facebook, and they're taking advantage. But like you said, like there's a lot of people that are not taking advantage. So that's how you stay ahead of the competition. But at the same time, by not doing it, then your competition is going to be running ads. Obviously not these ads, but other ones.
Kareem and Emil, would you guys say that cleaning is your top priority right now?
No, I honestly, I don't want to answer that because I don't know. To answer that question, I don't know. But we've always been maintenance. But I'm going with whatever's gonna make money right now. Emil has a different approach, and that's why we're so different. But that's something that Emil has to, get involved and say what he thinks as well.
But that's the thing about having, we're not locked down to like this has to be the ad. We can test two different ideas, right? We can test Kareem your idea and Emil your idea and see which one works the best. And maybe the winner gets a raise. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Nah, you know what it is. You know what it is. Everything is middle between us. Even if I win, Emil still gets half. That's the relationship we have. Everything is half.
Everything is half. Doesn't matter.
You guys are going strong, man. A lot of these partners out here, all they care about is money, money, money. And that anyway.
I mean, so do we.
Nah.
So do
me
we.
and him are technically brothers, man. I was in his wedding, so that's the relationship that we have. We're money hungry, but together.
Correct.
So that's
So let's just kind of picture it like this. Let's just say if you guys put out $1,000 ad spend, we can split it between both and really figure out within the first month exactly which one's going to perform the best, either this service or this cleaning service or something like that. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
It's about $15 a day per ad, which is like a really, really good amount of money to spend if we're going to split it up to like one or two different services. Right.
But here's my thing, though. Here's what this is my concern. My concern is that's all dandy, but we need to make sure that it's legit. I'm not saying that you guys are not legit. I get good vibes from you guys. I can tell when someone bullshit and someone's saying the truth. I get that. I feel like I trust you guys, even though I just met you. But it's kind of like, how would we know we're getting legitimate leads? So you're basically promising us leads, correct?
I would just say yes.
So I think that's a great question. And I think it'll probably be best answered if I just show you kind of the process of how these people, fill in their information, if that kind of makes sense. So yes, we'll just kind of get into that. So the first step, so as I said, the main goal of the first month, like I said, you're still going to be getting leads, but it's also at the same time, we're going to be testing. So we're going to be finding the demographics, the targeting, everything that works for your business. So this takes about 2 to 4 weeks. So the first part is, so just imagine kind of the customer, right? So they see the Facebook ad and, it's the ad copy, the video, whatever video that they happen to see. And then it's the call to action. So it's to pretty much give a call for you guys. So kind of like right here, they'll get a little Facebook lead form. It'll be a picture of the ad. Just a little kind of text just saying, please fill in your information. And then, like I said, we're testing all the targeting as well.
Okay.
So this is pretty much the page that they get put into. So as I said, it's going to be the same picture that they see on the ad. Because the thing is like trust is really important. So you always want to make sure that the content on the ad matches the content on the landing page. But that landing page is on Facebook, so they don't have to click to any website or anything like that. It just helps with conversions. So what we have is pretty much different areas that they can fill in. So their name, their number, and their email. So with this information, this essentially qualifies them as a lead that's pretty much interested in what they have to offer and what you guys have to offer. Because no one's going to fill in their name, number, and email unless they're pretty much interested. In addition to that, if you guys have any other types of things that you guys want to ask, so sometimes with, for example, with spas and salons, we'll have an additional question saying like, hey, when would you like your appointment? because that shows us that those people are serious. You might get less leads with that, but our whole goal with you guys is to have pretty much as qualified as they can be, so that when you guys get on the phone, that you guys are able to convert them to paying customers and everything.
I would like say also like the zip code too. Just I mean, we would advertise in the 5 boroughs, but I think like name, email, phone number, because like no one wants to put their own address on there, but they will put a zip code and like when they want to start the job. You get a lot of leads from networks that say like, oh yeah, we like from now we would like to do this job in May, but we're getting feelers out there. I'm like, fuck off. Like, we're really not super interested in, I mean, we'll wait, but like we want the jobs like within this week or next week even. And if it's someone in like I'm sure like a lot of people will be seeing these ads, and I'm sure they will be like pretty targeted to like the general like New York City 5 borough type of area. Like for now, that's where I think we should focus on, not the Philly and South Jersey. I know Kareem's going to go a little crazy with me saying that, but
he wants those extra miles.
Because you know what it is? It's just to like bear down on what we like know the best and have the best. We're not going to market something that's like we're doing some business in, but not 80% of our business. We'd like to really get into it. And once we know that the stuff is good, we will advertise a little bit in South Jersey and Philly. Kareem, that's fine. But
listen, I'm with you. If that's what you think, then let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, so with the zip codes and the targeting, we'll actually, so one thing we'll have to do with you guys is sit down and pretty much just make sure we have the area, right? You know, kind of like the radius, and we can also target certain zip codes. But like you said, like what we could do in addition to make them more qualified is ask them, hey, like, what zip code are you in? Or when would you like to get this job done, or both? But let me ask you a question with that. So if it was a commercial job, would you wait, you know, I know it wouldn't be ideal, but would you wait a couple of months if you're running an ad for a commercial job, if they, you know, wanted to get it done in, you know, May or something like that? Or
we would, but that's not our target. You know, our target is for right now. But for like example, you say, look, Kareem, we have this job and it's guaranteed $20K a month or $20K for this one job. Can you wait till May? Absolutely. I'm not gonna say no to that. It just all depends if it makes sense.
That makes sense. Okay, perfect. Did you guys have any questions about?
Actually, one more thing. The biggest thing is like, I would love to just see how you guys handle, specifically if somebody's like, you know what, I don't think right now is the good time, but maybe like a month from now. How would you guys specifically handle that? What's your follow-up like?
I mean, we would kind of just say like, oh, we would love to work, because we don't want to lose anybody, you know? It's just not our bread and butter to go out that far, but we would say like, hey, we would love to work with you guys. Any chance you can get it done sooner? They'd say, if they say no, we're like, okay, no problem. We'll go there as soon as we can, get you guys a price. That way we can like lock you in with our price. And after we do that, then we'll probably go a month or two without talking to them. And then a couple weeks before, we'll say, hey, you still interested? And then probably a couple days before, hey, are we coming on the 13th of the month? They'll be like, yeah. But we'll keep following up. It's not going to be like an everyday thing, but it would be like a couple weeks before, a couple days before, and then the day of, and then right after. So it's constant follow-up.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Now, okay, so you guys understand kind of the how the system. Is there any questions that you guys have?
Once it goes to like all this stuff, then it would like just basically generate a page to our email. Like we get an email for it.
Yeah. So basically, there would be a thank you page on the form. So it'll be to call now. They can just call right away. So this is actually on Facebook. Right after this, this is pretty much the conversion stage. So it's going to be put into our system. You guys will get so it really depends on how you guys want to be notified. So you can either send a text message, an email, a combination of both to, you know, your email, Kareem's, maybe Kareem's email, could be both emails. I mean, whatever way you guys want the lead information, but it'll be their name, their number, their email, and any other information when they want the job done, maybe their zip code, whatever type of information you need. And then you and your team will pretty much call. We always recommend within, I would say, 15 minutes, because
I'd say yeah, sooner than that. Yeah.
yeah, people, especially on Facebook, their attention spans are horrible. Maybe now it's a little bit better because everyone's kind of at home, but I mean, I wouldn't count on it. But yeah, I mean, it seems like you guys are very good at follow-ups, but that's an absolute must, is being able to follow up. I would say even within 10 minutes. I wouldn't push it too much.
I would say 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
5
say
minutes
5
too.
minutes.
Yeah. So one thing we found is like, I wouldn't call right away, but I would call within like 5 minutes. Yeah.
I've scared people when I've called right away.
Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, you want to wait.
People click submit and they're like so scared when I call them like 30 seconds after they click submit.
Yeah.
And they're like, whoa, you're like a live person? What are you doing? I'm like, bro, like you click submit. Like, what do you want?
I've been waiting for it. Yeah, but that's the thing. Yeah, because sometimes people, they'll be caught off guard and then they'll kind of be like, oh, I'm not interested, and kind of just, hang up or something. So I would wait, a couple minutes, but then, and then I would, follow up and then put them through your system.
I would say a lot of times too, when you try to make the ad like too easy and too accessible, a lot of times what we see is like people want to know what things are worth,
Right.
not even to do the jobs. Like, oh, my wife told me to paint a fence. I want to know how much you guys will charge for it. We give them a price and they're like, dope, thanks. And that's it. Like, that's the end. So like a lot of like ads, like they do work, but it's really about the conversions. Like we know that you're going to put a lot of ads out there and they're going to be directed to like hopefully the right people.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes the closing isn't even like our salesmanship or like our follow-up and calling back. It's really just like the genuine lead and how good they would be. So
Absolutely.
That's why it's like it's tough because we never done it before, like a Facebook ad. I don't know how much I want to put into it. What I usually do is I put like a little money to start, and then I build up and build up and build up. Once I know that something is working, if it's not working, I would cut it off.
Right.
But we can definitely start with like if you need a retainer, like $600 to $1,000 a month to see how it goes, start it up, and eventually I can see it if it really does what I think it could do. We can go up to like $1,500, $2,000 a month, just putting out ads out there.
Yeah, guys, we're the thing with us is that we're very open-minded people. You do. So let's say, for example, we see, for example, it's working, and we spend 1K, for example, but you guys are doing work that's worth 4K. I'm just giving an example. The next month, me and Emil's gonna be like, you know what? We'll give you 2K. You know what? Because we're very generous. When we see people go above and beyond for us, that's when we go above and beyond as well. And we're generous, and we're not just the type of person like, okay, you're doing work for us. No, we will advertise you as well. We'll tell we are very big on word of mouth. So we would tell other people, and they will contact you, and I will guarantee success rate. I'll be like, listen, I was with them for a month. We got this amount, and it's 100%. So then, we don't want nothing in return. As long as you're giving us fair prices, you're doing an amazing job. That's all we want. That's it.
Absolutely.
Before we do sign up, though, is there a way to like, I guess, work with you guys for like a week or two, and kind of see the ads that you guys produce, and who you're trying to market to,
right? And
then we would like make an investment into this.
Kind of like a probation, period. I would say, like a 2 week. I think 2 weeks is enough time, right, everyone? And then we go from there.
So just to clarify what you're saying, it's just like, okay, cool. You guys create the ads, everything, and after 2 weeks, we'll make a decision. Is that what you're kind of going at?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah, just to see what you guys could produce. Like, I saw like a bunch of the examples, and they look pretty good. But just kind of to see what the testing would look like and what the ads would look like first. Is that something that you guys would do?
Yeah, we do a 1 month trial, but we don't really do it for like I don't free. We don't really do
How's
it.
this? How's this?
Yeah.
How's this, guys? How's this? How's this? All right. To be fair, 1 month trial, which is fair. I get where you guys coming from because that's what you need anyways, right?
Right.
But how about you give us a good price on top of that 1 month trial, and then afterwards we could go with better pricing for you guys as well.
Right.
That's something
If this
you
is
guys would
working,
do?
there's no reason to stop.
Exactly.
But we have to know that it works first, you know?
And I mean, up front, I'm gonna be 100% transparent. We do trials for our clients, and like that's that's not a problem. We split up payments for clients. We do weekly we do everything for our clients. But the biggest thing for us is like we want to deliver quality, right? We're not gonna go and Joe Schmo cook up the ad type thing. We bring people that are actually really good and really know what they're doing, aka
Absolutely.
Lorenzo on the phone, and people like that doesn't really come at like a light cost. Does that kind of make sense? Where
Got
even
it.
if we're like genuinely, hey Alex, how about you guys just do it for this? We are finding the best people to do it, the job for us. Like we have Lorenzo on our team because he knows what to do when it comes to these things. Only thing I can really come up with is to specifically do a trial with you guys for a month. There's really no like, okay, cool, like the best price you guys can do, because that just cuts away from the quality of work we're going to put into it on top of just like testing and stuff like that. The one thing we can do is like instead of going 50-50 with a retainer and a commission or a percentage this first month, we can just do a straight up retainer throughout the month. And I'm gonna be genuine with you guys. When it comes to these type of things, if we really did a poor job, the last thing I want to do is be like, okay, cool, we made $1,000. Like I really like that. That's the last thing I would think about. Where we want to make sure we work with you guys until it makes sense. If it's that bad, right? We've worked with clients like to the point where they have to make money, right? The last thing I want to do is see you guys walk away and not make money. And that's not possible. I'm gonna be honest with you. You guys sign one. Like, it's just overall, it's just not possible for you guys to walk away with not making money, right? Even if 25 people in your pipeline, you're gonna code and work with some of them. It's just we're confident in what we do. It's just a matter of like converting and all that stuff as well. It's kind of the biggest thing. But I'll be more than happy to do a 1 month trial and really trying to like dial down before we work on like an agreement or something like that long term.
So I would say let's do it on like a retainer for now. Once it turns into the commission stuff, what do you guys typically do for commission? You said 50%? 50% of what?
15%, sorry.
Oh, 15%. 15% of what exactly?
Usually what we did was 15% of the profit that you guys would bring, not the whole deal. So we're not going to like, does that kind of make sense?
We're not like dishonest people at all. Like me and Kareem happen to be like open books and very honest. But how would you know what our profit is?
That's the thing. Like that's why the number one reason why I don't go after percentages and commission. It's not about the trust. It's just about like you don't know who you're working with specifically when it comes down to like you guys can say this number and then we can go with another number. And that's why we end up not working with that one guy. Because I make sure these leads that I bring or the pretty much customer opportunities are worth it. And I called them and they said, yeah, he didn't, call or whatever. And that just gave us a turnoff where we're just not working with the right people, right? Even if he closed 1 or 2 deals. And that's where it kind of that you made a really good point of why we don't do percentage and like why we don't go down that route. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes total sense. Like I said before, like we're really not dishonest people, but I could definitely see it happening with like other people that they would just say like well, they made 1,000. They say we made $200. Here's your 15%.
Right.
All right. So is it always like a retainer and a percentage type of thing with you guys, or is it mostly just retainer?
99% of the time is a retainer for us. And obviously we go up and down in the retainer depending on the ad spend. Obviously if a client spends 10 times as much money as they did last month, it's going to take 10 times as much work. So like that's a whole different story. But with the current situation right now, I feel like a known trial for us is like a good route to go down, where we both can, or specifically you guys can see exactly what we have in store, and kind of go from there. Now with the budget, when you guys say 6 to 1,000, are you guys including ad spend into that budget, or you guys just say like that's what we have to kind of invest into the situation right now?
Well, what would be in addition to ad spend?
So ad spend to us is like, I think Lorenzo gave me a kind of heads up before this. It's just, he works with real estate people like this. It's anywhere from about $15 to $20, sometimes $25 a day. But it's just whatever you guys are comfortable with the most, kind of like where you guys at, because we work with clients for, like, that's why the first month is so important, because you find out a lot. Either like, this ad right here with $15 a day can generate 10 times more result than this one that's pays $30 a day. And also it's because of demographic, the location, stuff like that. So it's a lot of testing. But we usually work with clients and we usually tell them, hey, anywhere from $15 to like $30 a day, like a good sweet spot. All right.
Okay.
Cool.
So I would say probably, let's say it is $20 a day for a month is $600.
Right.
So